The TT circuit of Assen in Holland's north. On the 5th of August, the famous circuit transformed into blue for the Gamma Racing Day. Over 60,000 fans packing the Dutch Cathedral of Speed for a day of remarkable demonstrations. Some beautiful women, some beautiful cars and motorcycles, and of course exciting racing, including the Supercar Challenge. Well, before the break, we showed you the Super GT and GT classes. Now it's time to catch up with the Supersport and Sport division if we can avoid the distractions in the paddock. Well, before we take a look at Sunday's race, let's see the highlights from Saturday. On pole, the BMW M3 GT4 of Peter Stokes and André de Vries. They lie third in Supersport.
Ja, Peter Stokes gaat starten. Ik doe het tweede.
Peter's going to start the races. André de Vries, I'll do the second stint. Hopefully we'll get a win. We've had a few seconds and thirds, but now it's time for a win. So, yeah, first place would be great. Second place on the grid, Peter Hovenaars in the BMW 1 Series GTR. He's fourth in the Supersport Championships. He knows he needs some vital points here. Third place, the M3 GTR, Bert van der Tweede and Marco Poland. Poland replacing Ted van Vliet for this weekend only. We're lining up fourth, championship leaders Ferry and brother Robin Monster in the Seat Leon Supercopa, just 5 points ahead of Koen Bogarts and Peter van Solen, who start in seventh. Leo van der Eyck and Helmut Jan van der Silk are fifth on the grid in their BMW Speedtech Silhouette. Well, in the Sport 1 division, it's John van der Voort and Priscilla Spielman, who are currently second in the points, who sit on pole for Saturday's race. John saying we got a large amount of result seconds, 50 seconds in total to deal with, so we'll really have to push hard for compensate for almost an extra minute in the pits, but we're aiming for the podium. The Sport 2 pole sitters are Lotus drivers Jeremy Adams and Teun Rutgers. I think it's going to be an amazing racing weekend, says Teun. Looking at the technical side, the other competitors have far more result seconds, so they'll be longer in the pits. All we need to do is look after the car, drive consistently. We should be able to end up on the podium, so fingers crossed. Well, unpredictable weather on Saturday, and close to the end of the day, heavy rain falls close to the track. On board with Ferry Monster starting in fourth place. Getting ready for the rolling start through the final chicane. And as the lights change, away we go. Dan Meyer in the Porsche moving up fast from sixth, already third by the start line. Ferry Monster, Marco Poland. Side by side into the hardbox. Through goes the Porsche. Leo van der Eyck, the yellow BMW on the outside. He goes wide onto the green AstroTurf. Red Mondeo there is Dirk van der Donk. He's up from 8th to 6th already. Koen Bogarts dropping back down the order a little. Blue BMW is Ronald van Loon and Peter van Vliet and Mark Roker in their Seat Leon Supercopa. Oh dear, and there's trouble behind. That's the Seat Leon of Vincent van Pommel and Jonas de Kemper. Leo van der Eyck in the yellow BMW, battling with the silver car of Marco Poland. That's for fifth place. Van der Eyck moving up the order. It's been a busy start to the 1 hour race. Race leader Peter Hovenaars. He's got by Peter Stokes in the M3 GT4 for the lead. Dan Meyer in third position. This is Koen Bogarts coming up behind us. Moving back up through the field, this is the battle for fourth place. On board with points leader Ferry Monster. 3.2 litre V6 of the BMW against the 2 litre 4-cylinder of the Seat Leon Supercopa. And a lap later, Leo van der Eyck as well. 4 litre V6 in that yellow silhouette BMW. Ferry Monster has no answer on the long, fast sweeps of Assen to the power of the BMWs. He's down to sixth spot. Well, Van der Eyck will hold that fifth spot up to the pit stops.
Spa ging het wat minder.
Spa wasn't our best weekend, he said. I had a crash there. I think I put things right today, though. Helmut Jan took over during the pit stops. He's still moving up, so hopefully we can bring the car home on the podium. I'm very hopeful. Well, they're helped out by incidents like this. Robin and Ferry Monster, the leaders, clattering into Peter Stokes. Ferry Monster outbraking himself. Stocks stuck in the gravel, Ferry Monster gets a drive through. Damage 2 for the M3 of Marco Polland and Bert van der Tweede. They started third. The replay shows what happened. Art Bosman outbraking himself at the Man de Van corner, clatters into the BMW. Both continue, but the damage limits their progress. So like it seems on the side of Peter van Solen and Koen Burkhardt, Koen moving up to second after Dan Meyer spun in his Porsche, but because of their good results they have a long pit stop, extra results, handicaps, drops them back to third place behind Leo van der Eyck and Helmut-Jan van der Slik in the Z4 Silhouette after their pit stop. Well, they're determined to return to the podium, but in the end it all goes wrong. Wheel to wheel with the yellow car, Van Solen on the slippery stuff, clatters into the Z4 Silhouette and he's off into the barriers. Van der Slik can continue but loses second place. For Peter van Solen and Koen Burkhardt though, the race is over. Well, sometimes things happen in a race. It was just an accident. It was unfortunate. Real shame, says Peter. I was battling for the lead with the BMW. We bumped slightly, nothing happened. Then I got onto the slippery stuff, lost control. We collided and I ended up in the barriers. So that was the end of the race. All too bad. Well, they score no points and that means that the Monster Brothers' lead in the championship will increase. Peter Hoevenaars claims a maximum score by winning the first race of the weekend. His 20 points moving him from 4th to 3rd in the championship. 35 points behind the new leaders, Robin and Ferry Monster, who finish in 2nd. Well, our top 3 finishers enjoy their moment in the sun. Hoevenaars the victor ahead of Ferry and Robin Monster. Leo van der Eyck and Helmut-Jan van der Slik claiming 3rd spot. In the Sport 1 division, Priscilla Spelman and Jon van der Voort in the BMW 1 Series GTR claim the win after a great battle with Guillaume Schultz, who is just a point ahead of them in the championship. Well, we came in too early for our pit stop, said Priscilla, so unfortunately we got a drive-through penalty. And then I was chasing Guillaume Schultz for the lead. I saw that we only had 1 lap to go, so I pushed really hard, took some risks, managed to get by. And then they showed the 1 lap to go sign again, so it looks like that was a mistake, but I was able to build my lead and the slower traffic didn't cause us any problems. Not such a good day in the office for Sport 2 Championship leader Rob Neiman. He spun his Renault Clio on its own oil and didn't finish, and that left the door open for Toon Rutgers and Jeremy Adams in the Lotus Exige. They claimed a comfortable win ahead of their closest rivals. Confirmation of the victory then, BMW Z4's 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, fantastic. I think Toon done a great job. Put us in a really good position, and I just had to take it nice and easy and play it safe, I guess, and brought it home. Fantastic result. So very happy.
On to Sunday's race then. A new day means new chances for everyone. The BMW GTR of Peter van Solen and Koen Burkhardt being repaired. They lost their championship lead in Saturday's race. So will they take it any easier? Well, of course, as Koen, we have to be a little bit more careful, but taking it easy is never an option. It's far too competitive. We're going to have to start from the back of the grid and work our way forward. Well, as the drivers prepare for the main race of the weekend, 60,000 expectant fans and everybody wants to show what they've got. Ferry Monster, the new leader of the Supersport Championship, along with brother Robin, is getting ready. So is third place man Peter Hoevenaars. Big question though is over tyre choice. Well, the answer soon becomes evident as it rains cats and dogs. The sun shone all day until the second the cars are ready to go out onto the track. Then it rained hard. Very hard. Well, the marshals made the best of a bad job. Looks like some arc building might be necessary. And once most of the clouds had cleared, the track was absolutely flooded, from puddles to small lakes. And it made it impossible to start. Even though everybody was on wet weather tyres, that would not have helped them. Race Control taking a personal look at the situation as the teams worked hard to pump most of the water away from the most dangerous areas. So the start delayed, of course, and once more, the gamble for tyres. Because the track temperature was high, the sun was coming back out again. Was it wet? Was it intermediates? Or could you gamble on slicks? It looked likely to dry, but how fast and how long could you survive on a slick tyre? Well, most of the cars returned to dry suspension settings, which means firm. And that means they're going to have to take it very easy early on because of the limited grip around a lot of the Assen circuit. And in these conditions, they will start behind the safety car, 2 formation laps, and then starting in single file for safety reasons. Peter Hoevenaars, the man on pole position, leading the field in his 1 Series 3.2 BMW. The Seat Leon Supercopa of Robin Monster and Ferry Monster right behind. Well, in the pit lane entrance, Art Bosman in the Lotus Exige. Sent to the back to the pit lane after dangerous driving in Saturday. Getting ready then for the start. Everybody has some vague idea of where the water is. On board with Helmut Jan van der Slik. The BMW Z4 getting a good run, using his power to come alongside Ferry Monster in the Seat Leon. And up into second place he goes. The new championship leader tucks into third, taking no chances early on. Well, the BMW on intermediates. Ferry Monster on full wets should have more grip, but for how much longer? Full wets too for the race leader in the white 1 Series, Peter Hoevenaars, but you can see how slippery it is. The rear drive BMW, the tail trying to wag the dog, and the silhouette, little lower weight distribution. He gets through on the intermediates. He seems to be finding the traction immediately. He's done a good job warming up the tyres on that opening couple of laps behind the safety car. Gear lever moving as if by a ghostly hand. It echoes the paddle shifts on Hoevenaars' BMW. 4th place is the second set. Mark Rucker starts in that machine. Battles all the way down the order. Lots of standing water close to and on the curbs as well, so drivers will have to be extremely cautious. On board once more with Ferry Monster. Full wet weather tyres, don't forget. Peter Hoevenaars also on full wets. But look how much he's having to correct the slides as he tries to get the power down on the BMW. The front drive Seat, better suited perhaps to these conditions. Championship leader moves up to second spot. There's Dan Meyer. He started on worn intermediates and they're not enough to clear the water. He's gone off. Well, just after Ruskenhoek there was some standing water. Knew it was there. Don't know why the car suddenly got away. It just spun. I was a passenger. No grip in the barriers. Heavy damage. I think I'm done with racing for a while, he says. But we're not. Stay with us for the rest of the action and see the water claim more victims at Assen. This programme's brought to you by Dunlop Tyres, Autosportinsurance.com, Praga New Generation and Spa05.com. Sunday's race at Assen in Holland, round 6 of the Supercar Challenge, and we're looking at the Sport and Supersport classes, part of the massive race weekend of action on the Gamma race day. Well, a deluge before the scheduled start meant a delay as the track was cleared of water and more gambling on tyres from teams that already scratched their heads before the anticipated start. Once things got underway after 2 laps behind the safety car, it became clear that not everybody was equal. Slicks, wets or intermediates, in the early going it seemed to matter little. Here's our race leader then, Helmut Jan van der Slik in the BMW Z4 Silhouette, and what a lead he's building already over championship leader Ferry Monster in the Seat Leon in second place. Poleman Peter Hoevenaars in the BMW 1 Series under threat from Mark Rucker in the Seat Leon, then a big battle behind Marco Poland in the M3 GTR, and right behind Martin Lanting and Nico van Vliet in the yellow Z4 Silhouette. The white Z4 gets through, and that is a change for 6th position. BMW's all the way, apart from the two Seat Leons, in the top 8 positions on board with André de Vries. He'll hand over the M3 GT4 to Peter Stocks later in the race. And a mistake from Nico van Vliet in the yellow Z4 Silhouette hands the place to de Vries. He's now up to 7th. This tight battle will swing anyway though. Safety car is out, rescue vehicles on the circuit. Well, that's the BMW Compact of Ron Braspenning. That's down at Ruskenhoek. Well, safety car is out though for this. It's the Ginetta G50 GT4 of Richard Ferns, and that can't be moved. Problem is, it's got a marker stuck where the tow hook is. From Rob Neiman's car, Fern on the left there, goes deep into the corner, drifts out wide, hits the standing water in the final chicane, and oh, that was close. Neiman just manages to avoid the dramas, but Ferns is stuck. And from the outside view, that's the marker cone that's jammed under the front of the wrecked Ginetta, and that's why they're having trouble moving it. So safety car is out, pit window is open, time for quick stops. Helmut Jan van der Slik will hand over to the happy-looking Leo van der Eyck. Now, he was on intermediates at the start. They are changing tyres. The track is drying rapidly, and they are going for slicks, and that's a great combination.
Super eigenlijk.
Well, everything went well, said Helmut Jan. Could only do 3 laps, managed to open up 10 seconds. Unfortunately, safety car out, so the lead is gone. But the Speedtech team have done a great job. Team was fantastic, real pleasure, especially in the wet. It was just amazing. Got to say, I had a great time. Well, the safety car and the success penalties jumbling up the field, but as they get going again, it is Peter Stocks in the BMW M3 that's the race leader. Ferry Monster under pressure from Leo van der Eyck, and van der Eyck goes through into second place in the Z4 Silhouette. On board with Peter Hovenaars, took the green flag in 5th position at the restart. Koen Burkhart's Peter van Solen's BMW M3, looking back from the Z4 as the two BMWs battle wheel to wheel. The slower Clio in the middle of them. The Clio's holding up Robin Monster. He can't fend off the BMW. Koen Burkhardt takes second. Robin Monster right in front of us. This is the battle for 3rd place now, as they go by the Sport 2 car. And the BMW with a little bit more speed. Not quite room to make it around the outside there. Oh, and the Seat is a little deep into the corner. Manages to hang on though. And again, whoa, lots of spray in places on the track. Still lots of standing water. Look how hard we're having to work to keep the car on the island. Great view from on board with Peter Hovenaars. And this is your lead group. All the front runners close together, but the Seat's in trouble. Drifted out onto the very wet curbs. Robin Monster loops around, drops from 4th to 5th. Here's the look from on board. Drifting out wide, listen. That moment of silence when the engine is doing nothing for you. Quick recovery though, lucky to avoid him. Peter Hovenaars shows how close it came. Oh, I think he saw that developing, don't you? On board now with Peter Stocks. He is our race leader and he's in trouble as well. Once more the water claims a victim. Well, that is the lead of the race gone for the BMW driver. Well, here is our lead battle now. Leo van der Eyck in the yellow Z4 Silhouette and Koen Burkhardt in the M3 GTR. Well, the taller M3, perhaps with slightly less advantageous weight distribution in these very treacherous conditions, but both cars, powerful rear-wheel drive, and Burkhardt, oh, is that coming back from the barriers? My goodness, that was close, but he's buried in the gravel trap. That might well be the end of his race.
Ja, ik hoorde dat ik 10 seconden penalty kreeg. Ik weet ook nog niet waarom.
Well, Koen afterwards saying I had a 10-second penalty. No idea why. So I was pushing really hard to try and make up for it. I was battling with the lead, I think, with the Z4 Silhouette. Tiny mistake, got onto the green and very slippery. Luckily, the car's undamaged. Not very spectacular, but for the championship, it's not so nice. So Lea van der Eyck and Helmut-Jan van der Slik in the BMW Z4 win their first race of the season. They gambled on tyres and it paid off. Starting on intermediates and changing to slicks was the way to go. But it wasn't straightforward.
Ik had geen intercom met...
Well, I didn't have any intercom. I couldn't hear the team, so they had to keep me up to date with the pit board. I saw that I was leading. Well, that's great. I had a really good battle with Peter or Koen, don't know who. I was getting very nervous. And soles of my boots were starting to melt because of the heat of the engine. But don't know what else to say. What a happy boy. So, most tricky conditions perhaps, and the first race win of the season for Lea van der Eyck and Helmut-Jan van der Slik. Peter Hovenaars in second, and championship leaders Ferry and Robin Monster taking third. Well, if the Z4 was entered for a complete season, they might be championship contenders. Peter Hovenaars moving up from third to second in the championship. Koen Burkhart's dropping from first down to third this weekend. So not a great weekend for Burkhart's and Peter van Solen. Robin and Ferry Monster lead the table. Well, it was a bizarre end to the Sport 1 race. The final lap, and Priscilla Speelman takes the lead in Sport 1 in her 1 Series. Harold Visselink right behind in second in the Yellow Lotus. But as they hit standing water, Speelman spins out and collects the Lotus. However, Visselink still ends up the winner. At exactly the same moment, the third place car was flagged out. So Visselink and Speelman finish up first and second. But if it ever happens more bizarrely that 2 cars end on the podium, I want to see it. But again from the outside, Speelman hits the standing water in the 1 Series. The Lotus can't avoid her. Luckily, they were far enough ahead to end up first and second.
Ja, de achterin was nog nat.
And Priscilla saying still very wet at that part of the track. I just got the lead from the Lotus. I was trying to take it easy through the standing water, but as he tried to come up on the left, I had to move over and car skidded. I lost control. Unfortunately, I hit him. And the Lotus looks like a bit of a write-off. And crashing your car and winning the race, that is mixed emotions for Harold Visselink. Well, Speelman lost control. What can I say about it? Just trying to stay in the middle. Car's a wreck. Not sure we can do much with it now, but I'd like to dedicate this victory to my dad. Well, what an emotional roller coaster for Harold Visselink. His father recently passed away. He had a massive crash and still ended up the race winner. That is an up and down weekend. But no hard feelings for Priscilla Speelman, who triggered the incident. That is a proper racing gentleman. He claims victory here in Sport 1. Dedicating the victory to the memory of his father. Hopefully he'll have more to dedicate soon as well. Jan de Voort and Priscilla Speelman take the lead of the championship. Harold Visselink also moving up in the standings. And in Sport 2, it's a second win for Teun Rutgers and Jeremy Adams. Rob Neiman still leading the Sport 2 Championship standings, but by just 1 point, with the Lotus duo fast approaching in third. And that is that. Next time out, round 7 at Zandvoort. But just one word of advice: when you're spraying the champagne, choose your victims carefully. Sometimes they fight back. We'll see you next time in Zandvoort. This programme's brought to you by Dunlop Tyres, Autosportinsurance.com, Praga New Generation and Spa05.com.